Hey, WLA family. I pray that this note finds you well with the first few days of spring break underway. Certainly a new journey for us all and a chance for us to all support one another and come together. I'd like to walk you through the letter that I am going to be sending out to you. The letter will come to you via the Swift Reach. It'll also be available as all other COVID-19 updates are available on our website. You can just click on the updates, and I think they are in line chronologically, and I think the top is the latest update. So, what I'd like to walk you through is our virtual learning. Looking at that, looking at that letter, I'm just going to kind of take you through and summarize and expound on some of the points there. So, the first thing we're going to do is talk about the learning, the weekly schedule. Overview wise, on Mondays, the whole week is going to be a little bit different from day to day. Mondays and Tuesdays will be generally the same, and Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will be the same. On Mondays and Tuesdays, what's going to make it different is the students are going to check in via Zoom video conferencing, and we're going to be working through that with them. All of the students should have received some Zoom information either in their Google Classroom or via their email regarding a link to log into those video conference meetings. Um, it is so important that the students are checking all of their Google Classrooms for all of their blocks. If they are not enrolled in a classroom, they should check to see about invitations that they've received from their teachers, but they all need to be checked into all their Google Classrooms for all their blocks. Um, Also on Monday, there will be a homeroom Zoom video conference for announcements and to ask questions and try to figure out how we're going to navigate this. I figured the best way to do that would be with the homeroom advisors. That would be the best way. So now on Mondays and Tuesdays, so we've got the Zoom video conferencing on Mondays for block 1 to 4 and for blocks 5 to 8 on Tuesday. And we'll talk more about that in the next couple slides. Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, um, primarily everything is going to be check-in via Google Classroom for all their blocks for their learning. The most important piece on this, 5 days a week, the students are going to view the chapel devotion and answer a devotion question of the day. That is going to determine attendance for our students, and that is so very important. So we want them to be getting onto the chapel devotion and answering that question the very first thing they do every day. Those links to that chapel or devotion and announcements will be available by 9 a.m. every single day. All right. It'll be available on our YouTube channel. It will be linked from Google Classroom in the homeroom section. So the children will need to go to the teens need to go to their homeroom classroom, click on that link, watch the devotion, answer the devotion question. Awesome. So this is what Mondays are going to look like. Again, that chapel and attendance check is happening at 9. And then all of the other blocks listed there, the students will be receiving Zoom meeting invitations for each one of those blocks. Hopefully those are recurring invitations, but that will be those will be the block times for Monday, and then homeroom for a 2 p.m. Check-in. So the Google Classroom assignments for blocks 5 to 8 will happen on Monday, and then so on Tuesday, blocks 5 to 8 will meet for the check-ins. Okay, again, 9 a.m. for chapel and attendance, and then 5, 6, 7, and 8 on Tuesday, just to kind of lay out the blocks for the week. Again, on Monday and Tuesday, the Google Classroom checks are there for blocks 1 to 4 on Tuesday, blocks 5 to 8 on Monday. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, again, we start with the chapel and attendance check. Now, that will be available at 9. That doesn't mean it has to be completed at 9 a.m. It just means it's going to be available starting at 9 so that students can get that going. They can do it anytime during the day, but it has to be done during that day. And they should always be checking into their Google Classroom assignments for all their blocks every day and working through some of that. What is best practices? How much time can I expect my student to be spending daily with virtual learning? The professionals say that high school virtual learning should be around 5 hours a day. Does that mean screen time for 5 hours a day? Does that mean 5 continuous hours a day? No, that doesn't mean that. They can take some breaks. They can work at their own pace. Some students, it might be a little bit more. Some students, it might be a little bit less. But that's what the professionals are saying. I have instructed my instructors that they should be looking at no more than 30 minutes a day for their work in their class. So 5 hours a day maximum. If it is taking more than that, please let me know. There will be a survey that will also be linked on the website that you will be able to figure that out. You can also email me at any time as well. So what is this attendance and class instruction looking like? When students check in to their classroom each day, there's going to be that link to the devotion. I'm going to keep on telling me that is the most important piece. They must view the video and complete the question to be marked present for the school day. The class, as far as it goes class by class, it's going to differ widely. There are going to be instructors using various different methods to meet the needs of the students and instruct the students. And they're going to be laying that out in their Monday virtual check-ins and Tuesday virtual check-ins, depending upon the block at the beginning of the week. Okay, so third quarter incompletes. There were some students that were either failing or incomplete in the third quarter eligibility check. The teachers will be in contact with them to set up the time for completion and talk to them individually. Face-to-face Zoom meetings. This is going to be new for all of us. So one of the things we need to make sure that we're doing is we're wearing appropriate clothing. We're sitting up. We're at a desk, a table. We are doing something to show that we're engaged. Be aware what's behind your camera. You're kind of inviting everybody into your house. They can see behind you. They're going to be distracted by anything going on behind you. So make sure that you're aware of what's behind the camera. Let everybody else in your home know that you're on a conference call and that you should not be disturbed during those times. Mute your microphone. This is a very important piece. Mute your microphone unless you're talking, especially if you live by like train tracks or you have a barking dog or there's siblings in the house that are running around. It's going to be important for background noise that you mute your microphone unless you're talking. Other distractions, boy, you're going to want to try to minimize those other distractions. What does that look like? Your phone. Make sure your phone is put away. It's not even next to you so that you are not getting notifications. People aren't texting you, Snapchatting you, all that kind of stuff. You should also not have other responsibilities during the time that you're in your face-to-face meetings. You should not be having to cook, clean, watch siblings, do any of those other pieces when you're on this. I know that's going to be difficult, but sometime we're under a safer at home order from the governor, so we should be able to manage that time, and there should be other people around the house to be able to help you. So you also shouldn't be at your job during this time. This is the attendance time, especially Monday and Tuesday. You shouldn't be working. This is the time to be face-to-face with your instructors for those blocks. Keep pets out of the room that you're in. You don't need your cat clawing at your leg. You don't need your dog trying to get the snacks that you're eating. All those pets should be, I suppose you can have fish, but all the pets should be out of the room. Your camera should be on unless you're told by the instructor to turn it off. Also, make sure at the end of the video or at the end of the video chat Zoom meeting that you leave the meeting. So tech issues or feedback, some people are going to struggle with connectivity. I have been working with those families, and you should have already received stuff from me. Some of you might not receive the Zoom Jetpack or the Jetpack from Verizon until Monday. Uh, and you're not going to be able to get on some of those. I will let all the instructors know about that. So don't worry about that. We are working on the connectivity for those of you who have let me know. For those of you who haven't let me know, I'm going to assume you can get on and you have no problems with connectivity. Throughout the days of our virtual instruction, our teachers are going to be doing their very best. This is kind of a learning situation for all of us. We are going to be needing to gain some momentum on this. We're not going to hit the ground at 100 miles an hour. And if we do, we might need to tap the brakes on a few things. All of that information can be relayed via the survey that's going to be up on the COVID website at wlavikings.org. Click on that. All of the updates are there that we've been working on. Communication is an extremely important piece during this. I certainly hope and I certainly hope that all things are going well and we don't run into uh, a whole lot of roadblocks to our learning. Finally, may God bless our journey together. Certainly, this is going to be a trying time, but it's going to be a time when we get a chance to focus on our Lord and Savior in other ways. Thank Him for all of the blessings that we may have taken for granted day after day. So I ask you to continue to pray with me, both for those who are sick with this, for the healthcare providers, for all of those who are managing our country, both in our state and at the federal level. Keep them in your prayers every day, um, as I keep all of you in my prayers. So may God bless all of us during this time and certainly keep those lines of communication open.